everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a good matchup here between our visitors and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he shifts past him, and he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
David Harris is a playmaker at inside linebacker and also one of the most durable guys in the league.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. On third down, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Sammy Coates, the intended target there. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And leading him out, their veteran quarterback. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on first down. They'll buy some time right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
The Raiders defense getting ready. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Or maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Well, we'll see if they can do that again.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. But 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectation.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field, and they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. So a little jumpy there defensively. Ref caught him in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Well, sometimes we talk running backs. Sometimes we talk wide receivers. Walford, the tight end in this unit, very important.
Clive Walford, a terrific player. Knows how to work the inside portions of the field, but also can surprise you and get deep.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running backs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And a look at the defense now. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Here's Marquette King now to kick it for Oakland. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. Now Brown. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Penalty marker is down here. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Holding offense.
And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. On second down, Roethlisberger. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Now Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
And they'll run it here. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football. You can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quickly.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Lawrence Timmons with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
With it is Brown. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end Green. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And now here come the Raiders. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Back to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 10-zip our score. More from the Steel City. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Here we go now.
Now the 4th-year man from Texas A&M, Christian Michael. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Finding time. Look at the time. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good game. A very solid gain of 27.
Gotta love a guy who'll stand in there and deliver. No matter what the pressure, waits for the route to come open, hangs in there, and completes the pass.
Midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. James has got it. Complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
And look at this. It's a fake. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside the quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out and down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now Cook. We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Uses the stiff arm. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They run again with Michael. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Another pistol look here.
All right, here we go.
Throwing, Cook. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
When it's well executed, a wide receiver screen can often be a thing of beauty, but so many things have to go right in order to complete it. Blocking out in front, timing of the quarterback with the receiver, and oftentimes everything gets set, and guess what? They drop the football.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it here with Michael. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. But they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
on plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
On the ground, it's Michael trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Wide open receiver complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's the option going right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
For the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick is indeed good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to Heinz Field. And after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. They'll set up a throw. Pass incomplete. The intended receiver, Andre Ellington. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well. And he didn't get that done on that play.
Second down now after the incompletion.
Hey. Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That one complete to Anderson. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right.
39.
Again, he'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Back to throw again. He's got time in the pocket. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now Cook. Incomplete. Christian Michael was the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On the carry, Michael. And he'll take this. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They come up in an offset eye.
Here we go now.
Throwing, Cook. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. And they get 14 yards there at a 1st down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
Here we go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it to the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go! Blue 90! Hot! Blue 90! Hot!
Here's Ellington. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Steelers are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Raiders won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Steelers have it at the 7. The pass is completed into tight coverage, and it ends up working for a touchdown. Steelers take the early lead. Now early in the second, the pass complete out of the gun, and it's going to end up going for a gain of 27. The drive would wrap up with a pick by the defense.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. They look good in the first half. They'll be looking to carry that momentum over into half number 2.
Finish a game the way you started it. That's typically the message at halftime when things are going well. You've done everything you're expected to do. How about a little bit more of that in the second half? But be aware they may throw something different at you to begin things.
Yeah, 50% of the equation still left to go. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position. It's actually utilized more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
They'll run the option left. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Green, 39.
On the run, this is Michael. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude it? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
In the red zone this time.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's got this one down to the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here's the option going right. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Let's go. Green, 39.
2nd and goal from the 5. And they'll go on the ground. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Time for the the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A beautiful fake. And there's a flag on the field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
He leaps over him. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, able to shed some tacklers, but it's all for naught.
Yeah, that doesn't even seem fair, does it? Because this guy was breaking tackles, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what he did. A really good effort by him, but give credit to the defense of giving up no gain.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and it'll be third down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post, that's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
So bad. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is. I mean, he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this one's right there, and that pushes the lead to 13-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. They come out here in the eye. This is Ellington. Oh, nice move. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And that's how you run the football and run it successfully. Big-time chunk of yardage picked up, but why? Offensive linemen won at the point of attack. Their leverage way better than the defenders. The low man wins when you're getting underneath and trying to move people. That's exactly what happened on that play. The offensive line moved the defensive front, created space, and the end result, a fantastic run.
Again, they run with Ellington. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Second down following the run.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Offense.
And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on third down. They'll come out in the pistol. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So completion on second down, that brings up third. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Marquette King now, standing just outside his own goal line. And a fair catch is taken here a step or two inside the 45-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. On the ground, Ellington shreds the tackle. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Out of the gun now on third down. He checks it down here to Ellington. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And Boswell's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch right down the pipe, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
And he didn't leave much doubt there, did he? Good snap, good hold, and that one was dead center.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Steelers defense getting ready here for this next possession. They're just looking to duplicate what they did last time, force the 3 and out, and that led to a field goal.
The only thing better, really, is creating a turnover. 3 and out, get off the field, feel good about yourself, turn the ball over to your offense, and they put the ball through the post for a field goal.
They're probably pretty well rested after that 3 and out, too.
One would think. That's how you get it done. Create the 3 and outs, get to the bench, get your rest, and hope your offense can control the game. Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
Now Cook throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now here's a carry heading left. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot. because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Here's the option going right. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he gets off a high spiraling kick. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
But you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you're going to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
That one complete to Anderson. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time, and a fresh shut it down.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Now a play fake here on first down. Finding time. He's going to let this, and this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And here comes the Steelers defense making their way onto the field. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now, hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Throwing, Cook. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Good throw, good catch, and the post route successful for the offense.
Really difficult on the defender. He got moved out of the middle of the field and tried to scramble to recover, but it was too late to stop the completion.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
One thing that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Switch it up here and look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Seventh play of this drive coming up. And a long way to go on 3rd down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Ooh, the juke. So now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot. Great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They'll get 17 yards there. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. James has got it. Complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman, certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
2nd down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. throw again. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down. Well, he just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? 'Cause that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take possession. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. So just about a minute to go here, tie ball game.
As fans, we love free football. But the guys in the field don't. They're going to attack and go for the win right now.
Now back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Let's go! Green 39!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Here's the option going right. Oh, no, he lost the football. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So now this one's... And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their 2nd-year kicker. It's just a preseason game, but this is for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So a pressure kick there by the young man, and that should be enough to finish this one off.
Well, he's a second-year guy now, so he says, don't call me a rookie anymore. And I tell you, he's got a bright future in this league. And kicks like that are going to make sure he sticks around for a good long while.
That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll put it out to the 25. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Still trying to digest the final moments of the game. What a fantastic drive to win it.
To see the winning team execute, stay calm and in the moment, and get it done, it really was a thing of beauty to conclude this game.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.